Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to another 20 Minutes Till Dawn video. It's me, Cranberry. How's it going? Hopefully you're doing well. Before we get into the video itself, if you don't mind, I have a quick favor to ask. If at any point during this video you hear any weird audio issues, specifically with my microphone, with me talking, please leave a comment, preferably with a timestamp. I think I fixed the audio issues that were happening in the last video, but I'm not 100% certain. So if you don't mind, let me know if something's weird, something's off. I did some troubleshooting. I think it's stopping, but maybe it'll happen again during the video. I don't know. But anyway, what are we doing here today on 20 Minutes Till Dawn? Today, we are going to be playing Diamond. Specifically, Cyclone Sword Diamond. There's a build for Diamond that I really like. That if you're, maybe a newer player, maybe you're having some trouble with sword builds, this one should be pretty good for you. Now, quick peek at the runes here. Things we probably want to end up taking. Power's fine. It doesn't matter too much here. What rune you taking? I should have mentioned runes actually in the last video. Sorry I didn't do that. On the second tier here, we're probably going to take Close Combat. It's one of the few builds where it actually is pretty useful because the short has pretty low range. And then Glass Cannons is a gimme every time. And then this doesn't matter too much. I guess we'll just take Cadence. And then over on the shield side, nothing really matters. We'll go. Oh, we don't even really want reload rate increases. I think we'll take Tenacity, probably. Tenacity or we'll take actually Vigilance. Vigilance to combo with Close Combat here is fine enough. Momentum, Blessing, and Growth. All pretty normal perks, nothing too crazy. Although, maybe for Diamond we want Healing. If we're playing Diamond, sure, why not? We'll take Healing. Anyway, so let's hop in here. And during the early game here, we'll talk about what the heck? Oh, wrong button. We'll go to Pumpkin Patch 2. We didn't play that one last time. We'll talk about the crux of this build here, the general theme of the sword, the Cyclone Sword Diamond build. Now, as you can see, we have a sword. When we shoot all of our shots, the sword spins, right? And the spin is, better than shooting, I think is fair to say, more or less, right? We want to be spinning as much as possible. So the question is, how do we do that? Well, for starters, we don't really want to take any magazine upgrades if we can help it. We want to take fire rate increases and things of that nature. Now, it's not that important for this build, but a Dragon Egg this early is fine. Just because no matter what you're doing, no matter what build you're playing, an early Dragon Egg is interesting because you have Age Dragon into Dragon Bond. However, it's important to note that if you do this, if you take Dragon Egg, you do get the Trainer and Frenzy perks in your perk pool, which is a lot of bloat being added to our pool for what will ultimately be not a huge gain. So we're just gonna opt for Double Shot here. This is debatable. These two are pretty bad for us here, but we'll take the Double Shot. Anywho, hopefully you're doing well. Hopefully you're having a good day today. I am doing pretty good. Nothing super crazy going on. Again, I do think it's just so interesting that this game got released for free on the Epic Game Store. And if you're a person, what am I taking here, by the way? Like I was just saying, we don't really like quick hands here. We don't really want to reload our gun faster. We want to draw out our reload animation as much as possible. But all these perks kind of suck. None of these do much for us here. I guess we'll just take Holy Shield, because a lot of these are pretty bad. Again, we don't want to take Magic Spear for the same reason we didn't take Dragon Egg before. We don't want Summons. Electro Mage is pretty low impact. I mean, man. Just thinking. Fresh Clip is pretty good, though. Fresh Clip is not terrible. But yeah, all these are pretty bad for us. Just give me the Holy Shield. Anyway, sorry. So, one question I have for you, if you are someone who did acquire this game for free on the Epic Game Store, how did you find out? Was it just word of mouth? Because I didn't see anything anywhere about this game being free. And I'm like, I'm in the 20 Minutes Till Dawn Discord. Not that I follow it too closely, but I would have figured there'd be like an announcement there or something, but no. No announcements there in the 20 Minutes Till Dawn Discord about the Epic Game Store giveaway. Nothing like that. I guess here, give me... These all suck, actually. We're not doing too well on perks here so far, I gotta say. All the perks we've been getting are not super useful. I guess out of these we'll take Soul Shield. It's fine enough. Yeah, no one in the Discord said anything. The way I found out about it was near the end of the giveaway. Someone in my actual like streamer Discord thing said it. They mentioned it with like only like an hour or two left in the giveaway to begin with. So I was pretty close to missing it too. I just think it's interesting. Out of these, don't love soul expand here. We got plenty of time to expand our soul later. I'll just take haste. You know, not to be underestimated, the wind katana is also a pretty good build for just any sword character in general. But we're gonna stick to the smite build here as soon as we, see the smite perk. I didn't explain how this build actually works, did I? Yeah. So anyway, so the way this whole build works is there's an evolution for. Oh, give me rapid fire, by the way. There's an evolution for the cyclone sword that makes it so that way whenever you hit an enemy, there's a percent chance. I want to say it's 50%, but I don't know the actual numbers. There's a percent chance that you smite them. Now, smiting is a mechanic that revolves around the Holy Arts perk tree. By default, it does 25 damage, I believe. But there are a lot of perks around smiting. Well, not around a lot. It's a couple. There's a couple of perks, revolving around smiting that do damage based on your maximum health, and a lot of damage based on your maximum health for the record. I mean, we can take Frost Mage here. This is actually a build that doesn't care too much about Frost Magic being a detriment to our kill count because it has very short range. Fun thing here, right? If you're less new to the game and you're starting to care more about trying to maximize your kill counts, Frost Magic generally not a good perk to take. The idea being is that a lot of times, oh, here's Holy Hearts, by the way. We definitely take this. This is essential. But a lot of characters will get frozen outside of your weapon range. They'll get like hit, frozen, and then kind of like knocked back. And then you won't be able to get the follow-up hit on them to kill them, right? That's a common issue with Frost Mage if you're trying to get a high kill count. Something that you might be interested in, maybe not, I don't know. For a long time in this game, oh, there's Vitality, by the way, another very important perk for us to get. For a long time in this game, I spent a lot of time trying to really maximize how high you can get your kill count. So, maybe, maybe I'll get back on the grind again. Maybe that'll be something I try to do. I forget what my previous personal best was. I mean, I had runs that were in like the 30K numbers, I think, but that was pre-assassin fix, so not exactly a good metric to use, but it was a thing. And then post that, I think I've had a couple runs at least in like the 15 to 16K range, but I don't really remember. I don't know. Bulk up is very good here. We will take some intentional damage in order to get a couple more procs on that. In order to do that, we need to have some actual missing health to begin with, which means we're going to lose all of our spirit hearts here. That's not that big of a deal. Spirit hearts aren't doing much for us anyway. There is soul powered though, but we do have to take Holy Might. Here's the big. I should have explained it before when we first picked it up, but here's the big build around, right? Holy Might is really, really important, right? You get 10 extra damage for every HP you currently have. Diamond starts with 7 HP, which is a lot. We also have Justice, which increases our max H3 effectively by 3 once we trigger it enough times, which will be pretty easy to do, right? So we're going to have a very high HP total, combined with all the other sources of HP we'll see in the game, right? We're going to be very bulky is the idea here. So this is a pretty easy Holy Smite. Soul Power is not bad, though, and neither is Power Shot. Power Shot we do definitely want at some point. But this is like extremely important for our build. Now for the time being, Holy Smites just trigger on our reload, right? So we do not want to take magazine extensions. Now an important build option for characters that used to do a lot of reloads back in the old days was mini clip, right? Mini clip used to give you minus 99 maximum ammo, which meant if your gun had, let's say 20 bullets in it, for example, and you took mini clip, you would just have one single shot. You would shoot, you'd immediately reload, right? But the problem for this build is that while it doesn't lower our maximum ammo, which is good, it increases our reload rate by a ton, right? And bullet damage we don't hate, obviously, which is cool, but it's not the main source of, it's not the bulk of the damage this build's going to be outputting, right? So it'll ultimately, because we reload so quickly, it'll actually be barely, I think it'll be net positive maybe. I don't know actually, but it'll be not worth really going for is the main issue there. If you're wondering why we don't care about, reload speed. We want to, and there's ways that we can even lower our reload speed that'll extend it even further. So that's what we're kind of looking for here. Although I think they really only exist in the form of what's it called? In the form of tomes. By the way, I am taking damage on purpose here to try to get those bulk up procs. We don't really need the smite damage this early in the game. It's not that important, but we will want it later. So take advantage of it now. I've never been able to 100%. I don't think prove that healing while at full health doesn't proc. What's it called? I've never proved that it doesn't proc bulk up and things of that nature, but I don't know. I don't know for certain, so I just to play it safe, I take the damage, but I think it doesn't. I think it's I forget who told me. It might have been Jeff. By the way, hey Jeff, if you're watching, shout out to Jeff. I believe it's been proven that you need to actually have the missing health healed in order to proc anything that revolves around healing you. So who knows? Oh, hello there. A little freeze on the dog here. If you're a new player, by the way, I imagine this guy is a nightmare. Definitely one of the hardest guys in the game to fight, at least at first, but you get the hang of it, don't worry. This guy will be a chump soon. It was really funny, he used to keep his momentum even while frozen. So him being frozen in place there would not have mattered before, but even then it doesn't, not that big of a deal, not too scary. Okay, we can start stacking up the spirit hearts now just to be safe. Okay, what's our tome? There's a couple we're looking for here. I don't think I see any of them. Tome of Elements, Tome of Glass. Tome of Vitality is very good for us. We'll take this. Tome of Glass is cool too. It's a little spooky, but if you're trying to get a high kill count, it's a pretty good way to go. Right, but we'll take Tome of Vitality here. Again, we just want big HP numbers. This is big HP numbers. So it should be pretty cool. Now, if you want, some more little bit of advice here. I'm of the opinion that dodge, generally speaking, is not worth investing in. I mean, in reality, most builds can operate pretty well just, by outputting damage. This is a game where the best defense usually is a good offense, right? You don't really need to. You can go full on offensive perks the whole way through and beat the game no problem. But I guess I'll take rubber bullets here. But if you're trying to win, there are some defense perks that are really powerful. Like Ice Mage, in the grand scheme of things, if you're just purely trying to win, one of the strongest perks in the game. Very solid defensive option. But you don't need it. But there's nothing in this game that you definitely 100% need for any of your builds, really, for the most part. Maybe for like Spark LMG you might need Overload. That feels pretty essential. There's not much. There's not much that really matters that much. Okay, so the game is showing me some bad perks here. Pyro Mage doesn't do much for us here. Just adds a lot of bloat to the pool. So here's I know I'm phrasing this in the sense of hello new viewers, welcome to how to play the game. But if you're a veteran, I apologize, but there's probably gonna be some new viewers here, right? So I want to kind of explain some basic mechanics here. So when we talk about the perks that we're taking, right? If all of the perks do pretty much nothing for us, we want to take the least damaging one, if that makes sense, right? And when we think about, the repercussions of taking perks, we have to keep in mind that every time we take one of these perks, it adds 2 new perks to the perk pool, right? If we take Dark Arts, Doom and Wither are both in the pool now, right? If we take Quick Hands, hold on, let me hover over it. If we take Quick Hands, Armed and Ready, and Fresh Lip are now in the perk pool, right? However, when it comes to Ice Shard here, this is already the tier 2 of perks here, right? We already have this. Now, if we didn't have Frostbite, taking Ice Shard would be net even on perk bloat, because then Shatter would be unlocked, right? But we already have Frostbite. Shatter's already in the pool, we just haven't seen it yet. At least I think we took Frostbite. I don't remember now, actually. Maybe I skipped it before. But either way, the point being is that out of all these choices here, this is the least damaging to us, right? As far as adding bloat to our perk pool. And it's not like it's it's not a negative effect. Obviously, the Ice Shard is a beneficial effect too. Don't get me wrong. They're all for the most part beneficial except for Quick Hands here. But sometimes it's about taking the least bad option, right? And here, Ice Shard is the least bad option. For a long time, I would, you know, if you saw my last video, I talked about the train dragon meme. Train dragon, in my opinion, generally just net neutral. The actual thing the perk gives you is not super beneficial, but it's not like it's killing you either. What do I take here? What do I take here? Sword and shield is fine. Again, like, think about this in terms of bloat again. Sword and shield is a synergy perk, which means if we take this, it is literally negative bloat, because it's not unlocking new perks for us, which is great. However, I'll take Fanfire because, you know, Fusilade's pretty good. We have reload proc synergies here, so it's fine. In and of itself, it's not that useful. Right, the swords that are shooting out on reload are really small and don't do much damage. So they don't, it doesn't matter too much for us here, but we'll take it. Now, one thing I forgot to do actually is another cool strategy specifically for maps that have borders or not. I guess borders is one word for it. Out of bounds. Is what I mean to say. For any map that has like an out of bound territory, also Shatter pretty good here, but I'm taking Giant. Giant is sick. For any map that has out of bound territories, right? Something to keep in mind is that if an enemy dies outside of the normal bounds, the experience they drop is automatically picked up, right? So if you see how there's no orbs in the ground? What that means is if we, you know, for example, stay here on the very edge and do our best to kill enemies that are out of bounds, we're more efficient with our usage of time because we don't have to go over and pick up the XP drops. It's automatically collected for us, which is very convenient and very good. Now that doesn't mean you should, you know, stay there no matter what and you know, face tank damage coming your way. You should move around, but you do want to stay close to the edge there in order to get that XP automatically picked up for you. So another neat little tip. Should be getting pretty close to triggering smites on by pretty close to being next level. To getting our smites on sword here, as you can see right here, 50% chance. Okay, very cool. Now these smite procs from the light blade is affected by the modifiers we have on our smite. So as you'll see here, as we're spinning, the smites are doing, you know, whatever, how much damage, 100, 180 I think is what I'm seeing. Yeah, so they're doing 180 per proc. So that's, you know, a rough average. You know, considering it's a 50% chance. Every attack is doing roughly 90 damage on average, which is good. I think most people would agree that's a pretty solid damage number. Now, that is dependent on us not taking any more damage. If we take too much damage, that is an issue, but we'll be fine. Now, run and gun, pretty cool thing here. So, the difference between move speed and walk speed is different, right? They're two different stats. Move speed is your just overall general movement. Walk speed is your move speed while not shooting, right? The fun thing about this sword is that while we are spinning, we are not technically shooting. So we do get the Beyblade around during this phase, basically, which I think is pretty cool. Two good choices here. Soul Power is just a 30% damage increase right now because we have the 3 Spirit Hearts. However, Shatter is sick. Shatter is much more damage than you realize. You hear all those tiny little explosions of the enemies dying? That's all damage, right? This is a pretty big boost for us. Definitely give me a power shot here. Love to see that. And yeah, the build's pretty much done now. There's a couple more perks we can get. We still need. We don't need vitality. What we need is Titan, which requires the sword capstone perk, which is pretty bad. But the Titan synergy itself is really good. So we'll see if we can see that at some point. Oop, hold on one second. Okay, hello, hi, sorry, I'm back. I had to go take care of. Hey, don't ask any questions, okay? I had to go take care of something. Anyway, sorry. I don't know why I became The Sopranos. The choices that we have here, I'm gonna take Splinter, and the reason for that, God, I wish I remember what I was talking about before I stopped the recording for a second there. So we're gonna take Splinter here, and the reason for that is I believe, unless I'm crazy, the splintered bullets can also proc those smites. It's still a 50% chance. Doesn't matter which bullet we create that hits, as long as those hit. 50% chance. 50% chance. I can't even talk today, dude. So fricked up. Okay, 50% chance no matter what. Let's get in here. The issue with Splinter on this build is I believe the Splinter bullets should have a pretty short range, but like, you know, the enemies are all clustered up. It shouldn't matter anyway. They should all be hopefully proccing pretty often. Anywho, what do we got next? What are our options? Split fire is fine. It's not that great. It's full powered. At this point, I think our HP is bumping out our soul hearts to begin with, so soul power looking a little bit less good here. I will take aim because assassin would be not terrible for us. Assassin would be an okay perk for us to get here. Besides the effect itself, Kunoichi would be pretty good for us, so we'll see if we can get it. I tried to get Kunoichi in the last video. Did not go so well. But hopefully this one will. We'll see. I guess out of the options here, Sniper's fine. Only one that's like, you know... Well, Doom doesn't hurt us either. It's that same concept before, though, right? Doom is nothing for us, but it puts more bloat in. Sniper does no bloat. Or technically it gives us a perk we want to see. It gives us Assassin as a perk that shows up, right? So for that reason, we'll take it. That's enough reason alone. But, in and of itself, it's not super impactful. I'm trying to see how much damage we're doing per smite. I can't quite tell. I think it's 200, 230 maybe? I'm seeing some 200s, I think. Yeah, it must be 200 damage. Yeah, it's looking like it. I mean, you can count the HP and you can see it's normally 20 damage per smite. I'm not counting the hearts, but I'll let you, if you want to, see how much we got right now. Oh, I am seeing one of our spirit hearts actually underneath the timer too, actually. Interesting. I guess we'll take soul powered. Doesn't hurt. Oop. So we're starting to get a little bit of damage here. Now, if you didn't know, on the pumpkin patch level, this is the hardest part in the level. And because it's one of the harder levels, it's arguably one of the hardest parts in the entire game, right? These waves, they come at you fast. There's a lot of these eyeball guys, right, that shoot bullets at you. And the way the projectiles operate, they speed up as they approach you, right? So it can be pretty tricky to dodge. But, like I said before, a very strong build, and we're already, you know, we have so much health that we shouldn't have too much issue here. But, oh, taking some hits there. But, here's where things could go wrong. Think of it this way, right? We're currently at critical mass, right? We have crazy high HP, everything's going great for us. But, if we slip up a little bit, and we start taking some unfortunate hits here, also Angelic here is a pretty easy take. We need it for the Titan Synergy perk, so there we go. If we start taking some unfortunate hits here, all of a sudden, our giant HP pool starts to dwindle slowly and slowly, and then before you know it, we're doing less damage, right? It's a negative feedback loop. The more damage you take, the more health you lose. The more health you lose, the less damage you deal, and then it becomes harder to kill, right? So something that can happen with these builds sometimes. You gotta be careful about is you know, playing sloppy and the whole thing falling apart on you. Kind of why the spirit hearts are nice too. To have a little bit of a insurance, a bit of a buffer there. No matter what, the best thing, you know, is just gonna be dodging, especially focusing on dodging the projectiles, right? Hopefully, if your build is built correctly, you should be doing so much damage that you don't have to worry about the enemies even approaching you, really. Not all the time, but like projectiles, as you saw right there, your biggest concern for this. That's what you got to be the most careful about avoiding. Pretty bad perks here. I guess I'll take split fire. Or as the kids call it, back shots. Still haven't figured out what those really are yet. Oh, no one will tell me. It's very infuriating. I keep going, what's back shots? What's back shots? And everyone keeps laughing at me. I'm just kidding. I know what back shots are. I'm intimately familiar. Saying it that way, it sounds like I'm the one receiving the back shots. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I am not the one receiving the back shots. I want to be very clear. I want to be crystal clear. Anyway, I've now officially run out of things to talk about. Sorry about that. Apologies. Oh, we do have some good choices here. We have the Titan Synergy perk. If you didn't know, by the way, you can tell if perks are synergy perks based on the color, right? So the red perks are the ones that are synergy perks. And here's a great example of bloat perk, right? Like I've been talking about it like a lot this video. How many times have we seen and not taken sword and shield? I think this is at least the third time, right? If we had taken this the first time we saw it, we would have had other perks in these slots instead for us to see, right? But either way, I'm taking Titan here. I'm not taking a bad perk so it doesn't show up later when I can take a good perk right now, right? So, another max 2 HP. Very sick. Very cool. I believe we haven't hit the HP cap yet. I think we can still go a little bit higher. I might be wrong, though. This might be it. Who knows? I think when we took it, I think some spirit hearts vanished, so... Maybe we are now at the limit. Either way, as you can see, the witches not really close to hitting us here. In the grand scheme of things, not really making much progress. Ooh, some not terrible choices here. Out of the options given to me, I think I'll go Reaper rounds now. Light bullets and Reaper rounds, pretty good synergy option as well. But, you know. This is... it's not necessary. It's not essential for us to get anything really at this point. We could get no level ups from here on out and win the game. In a heartbeat, I could say that. This game right here is a foregone conclusion. There's pretty much no losing from here because we got past the hardest part. The 9-minute mark is when it gets really hard, and once you get down to around 6 minutes, it's really easy. Even maybe just the 7-minute mark probably is about where it gets easier. I don't know. But those 2 minutes of game are probably, I mean, I don't know. Maybe the temple is a harder map overall, but that wave that comes in is pretty crazy. Out of these options, give me Fusillade. We don't even care about our main shots that much. Not that impactful. But, it's okay. We still spent a decent amount of time shooting, so... Like, not like, you know... It might be a net negative, but I don't think it is. I think the bonus damage is a positive, but hard to say. Out of these, I guess give me Siege. But I hate getting Stand Your Ground here. But it's not essential for us either. Can you please go away, boss? Now, Ice really does shut this boss down. This boss used to be so much harder because, again, with the way Ice used to work, they would keep their momentum and it would be a little bit spooky. But, you know, now not so much. Tome of Wind is fine here. We have a decent amount of incidental move speed gains just from playing the game. Bullet Bounce is nothing. Tome of Rage is a net negative for us here because it triples our base ammo. Increases our fire rate too, but that ends up being a wash, right? If our triple the ammo, it might be net negative, I don't know, but if we triple our ammo but then we shoot 66% faster, is that better? I don't know, man. Give me Tome of Wind. Give me the increased damage for move speed. Tends to be pretty useful. And I think for some reason it affects like every damage. This game is weird, right? When you get like a flat damage buff like this specifically, it's an untyped damage buff, and it seems to affect like everything on a different level. Like if you see like bullet damage, right? Bullet damage versus summon damage versus fire damage versus whatever damage, right? All these things have separate trackers that are affected by different stats. When you have something like this move speed damage bonus from Tome of Wind, it seems to just affect everything. It's really good. For some reason it tends to be not for some reason for that reason I guess it tends to be really strong. So that's neat. Our smites are doing what, like I think it looks like 473 damage. Our actual attacks are doing like 100 damage. Yeah, we can't lose from here. It cannot happen. Here's Terry. Hello Terry, how's it going? Please die. There we go, thank you. We got our last diamond perk, not that it matters too much. For this build, it's actually really funny. We don't really care much about the diamond specific perks. They're generally speaking pretty strong perks, but we don't need them. It's not that important. We really just play diamond in this build because of the high starting max total. Or starting max HP total. But like, right? Like if you think about that this way too, right? We started with 7 health. If we had taken a character like what do we take here actually? I don't know. We'll take evasive because we can get nimble and reflex. With the Tome of Wind here, that's actually pretty useful. But yeah, with a character, like, there's characters in this game that have like 4 HP. So the difference between 4 and 7 is not that big of a deal at this point in the game. Late game doesn't matter. But in that mid game, when you need as much damage as you can get, so that way you don't get overrun by the minute 8 mobs, right? That matters. That's a pretty big deal, I think, if you're asking me. So I tend to really value diamond for this build. But you can do this build with any character. You can do this with Luna, right? Luna has 4 HP. Which is a decent amount of starting HP, and she pulls enemies closer to you with the black holes, which is really cool, right? So that's a build choice you can have. You can do Shauna instead of trying to double up a really important perk. You can try to double up like Holy Smite off of like you got options. You got options. Is what I'm trying to say. Arrow Magic will take as well here for the same reason as we took the dodge perk before. Windborn gives us a movement speed increase, so that'd be pretty cool for us too. But Arrow Magic doesn't matter too much here. The tornadoes are cool. Anywho. I asked a question at the start here, right? I asked people to... You know what? Now that we're near the end of the video, I asked people before the start about the audio issues. That's what it was, by the way. But now that we're at the end of the video, if you don't mind me asking, what other characters do you want to see me build? Are there any characters you're having trouble with getting a functioning build to work with, or any weapons? Weapons probably, honestly, are trickier than characters, right? To get a functioning build for. If you're struggling with water gun or something like that, and you want like a build, I can probably do one. I have, a lot of experience with this game, so let me know if you have anything you're struggling with. Or if you're just curious about a specific weapon, if you're struggling, if you just want to see, like, I wonder how he could do with this build or whatever, etc., yada yada. Let me know. Or don't. It's fine. I'll live. All those perks suck, by the way. We still have another 2 minutes. What else can we talk about here? I don't know. Oh, one thing I appreciate too, by the way, I should mention. I didn't talk about it, I don't think, in the last video. I appreciate, I don't do this very often, but I do appreciate people who have been giving the video, or the videos, like, various, engagement, if you will. I hate the term. We need to come up with less serious terminology for YouTube stuff, right? Like, man, shit's been fucked ever since we started calling ourselves content creators. That was the beginning of the end for YouTube, I feel like. Because ever since that shit started happening, like, these people, like, you can just be a YouTuber. Like, it's not that, like, I don't know. And I'm getting distracted. Sorry. So, what I was trying to ask in the first place was, if you uh, would mind, I would appreciate you liking the video because it's pretty cool to see people actually like the videos. If you're curious, right, if you want, some perspective, right, the last 20 Minutes Till Dawn video got pretty close to the same viewership as my last actual gameplay video for Dark and Darker. However, the 20 Minutes Till Dawn video got double the likes, which makes me say, maybe I should play 20 Minutes Till Dawn instead of Dark and Darker because the people who are watching that video don't seem to like it as much. Even if it's getting, as many views, people tend to like it less. So it's something that I pay attention to at least. And I appreciate, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, video's almost over. But again, going on that rant, fucking YouTubers that should have never started calling themselves content creators. That shit is cringe. Man. Just be a YouTuber. It's okay. You don't have to, like, try to validate your existence by saying, what I'm doing is real work. Even though it's almost certainly not. It's okay. You can just be a funny person on the internet playing video games. That's allowed. But I don't know. Give me Windborn. It's over. Video's done. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I will see you whatever the next video is. If you want to see a specific build, leave a comment. We got 14k kills. It's not bad, but anyway, I am done rambling. Goodbye.